So, okay, what's good, everybody? Let's get it started. Good morning, Rico and his opinions. I'm back at it again. What's up? Cool down time. The sun has come out. Well, kind is not really out full blast, but it's out. Whew. Thank you, Mary Max, for this. Comes in handy. Okay, y'all. Let me put that right there and straighten my business up and let's go. Y'all gonna stroll with me as I do my little cool down. Telling you, if you see people who are fit, in good shape and all that, could be toned and muscular, guess what? This right here is what they do. This is what they do. Every morning, every afternoon, every night, or then what those people do who are in good shape, they eat a certain way, and I'm still learning the eating part. I'm not eating as late, the same old stuff. This past weekend, I bought more fruit. Now the next thing I need to do is eat them. Peaches, plums, apples, stuff like that, bananas. Now I have to learn to eat them and get in the habit of eating fruit and increasing the water intake. Then that's the stuff that trains your muscles, and that's how these folks be looking the way they look. It's not a mystery. People put in work, and I respect the hustle. People put in work. So, especially as you get older, and particularly as men, the decrease begins as relates to the formation of testosterone and all of that. So you have to eat differently, work out a little more. Some people have even gone through the process of getting like testosterone boost shots and stuff like that. There's herbal supplements you can take and all that cool stuff. So, just as long as you respect your body and respect your age, don't allow ego. See, I feel like I'm 25, but you're 55. You better mess around here and pass out, goddammit. So, but anyway, this is Rico and his opinions. And I have a couple of thoughts I'd like to share with you if you got a minute this morning. But first, I'm going to let you know, if you hadn't found out yet, I have a short story that's always for sale. It talks about, first the title of it is The Greatest Pain I Ever Felt. Conversation with my absent biological father who never wanted to be found, and accidentally found out about him at age 22 when having just a casual conversation with my aunt who since passed away. Got a chance to talk to him on the phone, but he never wanted to meet me in person. He would always say, let's let fate handle that. He had other children, wanted to meet his other children. He said, no, I don't think that'll be a good idea. I'll let fate handle that. Kevin C. Williamson, good morning, my man. What's up? And so he never wanted to meet. So I just took it upon myself on December 25th, 2008, 4:30 p.m. Christmas Day. I found 5 addresses, and I picked one of them, and then one I picked happened to be his, and my brother and I strolled over there and knocked on the door, and he answered the door, saw my body, because I'd already heard my voice on the phone, and so he said, so, hey, what's up? I said, how'd you find me? I said, Google MapQuest, He said, well, I have to give you an A for effort because I've worked aggressively over the years to prevent you from ever finding me. And that's a story from 22 to 39 years old. That's what the story is talking about, the emotional ups and downs and all of that stuff. So if you're interested in reading the rest of the story, it's like a 40 page, I'm telling the story, yeah, about 40, 50 pages, short story. It's only $10. Cash App your boy, $ Rico the Opinionist. The information is on his Facebook page, and as well as in the description box on his YouTube page. That is Rico the Opinionist. So, if you decide to hit me on the Cash App or the PayPal for the $10, please send an email address, because I only have it in PDF format, which I can just email it to you as soon as I receive your payment. And for folks who've read it, they say, hey, it's a page turner. Described it as good reading. And I was told that, man, you really put your heart and soul in this. You really expressed or showed your vulnerability. Like, thank you. So whoever buys one and you actually read it, I'm always looking forward to hearing your feedback, because I just want to get better in this thing called writing. Okay, cool. Okay, so shout out to Jamie, who bought one this morning. Appreciate you, sister. Let's see. I guess I'll get straight to the topics. He will. Oh, well, thank you, he will. He says definitely good reading. I appreciate you, man. Spread the word, bro. Just try to put it out there, because I think it's a good topic that that children of all ages, of all races, of all genders can relate to. Being without a parent, mother or father, but this one I'm talking about fathers, and then if I can be more specific, sons growing up without their fathers, and sometimes how that can go. We've heard about it, but it's something when you experience it, man. Hey. So anyway, there's a couple of things that's going on, and I don't know if you've heard or if you care, but for me, when it comes to black men, I try to highlight the stuff that we're doing, especially positive, and also those black men who are actually contributing something to our community that we need. And it's very interesting that black men within the past 10 years have been able to express what we really feel via social media. Because before social media, black men were not heard. Nobody cared about what we thought. Nobody cared about how we felt about whatever, and particularly in relationships, because all those spaces were occupied by women. Even on the talk shows, they rarely had men on there to discuss their issues with the dating pool and within our community. But our women got a chance to be on all the talk shows in the 90s, 80s and 90s and early 2000s. They still have a platform whenever the big networks want to use them to be disparaging against black men. So anyway, YouTube came about and all this stuff came about, and so black men are going in, they're coming in, you find out that black men are intelligent, articulate, and they do research. They're pretty masterful at this YouTube thing, and they're expressing their thoughts. And a lot of them are really, really disciplined in how they present their topics. Of course, it's come with criticisms from men and women. But what I do is I sit back and I observe. And I try to see, why are these men, particular men, being criticized, and you want them to stop expressing themselves. And so, back in the day, we had a guy named Tommy Sotomayor, who was the first one, I think, on YouTube to actually express how he felt about black women's behavior, right? And man, he went through it. He called holy hell. Channels knocked down, people vilifying him and demonizing him, and yeah, he used rough language like never saw outside rappers saying black whores and BT 1000s, black terminatrix, hair-hatted hooligans, the worst stewards of children. He coined all of that, and then he said, "No, make this make sense." As it relates to their behavior. And he never said all, but just the mere fact that a black man got up who's not pushed no praising them like Farrakhan or Umar Johnson, but actually talking about their dirty laundry. When, of course, women have been allowed to talk about black men's dirty laundry for decades. And they rarely talked about the positives about black men, unless they were doing something doing their bidding or kissing their ass. So he gets the credit for bringing out that kind of presentation. And then so you've had other guys that come through, even groups have formed and stuff. You know, Intelligent Black Men of Reform. And then white men had what's called MGTOW, men going their own way. Then you have black men to MGTOW, black men going their own way. Then you have what's called Save Yourselves, black men, all types of groups. So it's a thing is really popping off, and you have and the debates continue. But one thing about it for me was most important, that black men actually have a microphone, because we didn't have one at first. And I appreciate all the voices. I may not agree with all of them, all their approaches, but I agree that black men should have their own microphone. And social media, as well as internet, creating your own website, has afforded black men the opportunity to say what they want to say unapologetically. Now, you still got the beta males and the old traditionalists, well, you can't disrespect the black woman. You know, the black woman is God, you know, all that stupid shit. That's been proven not to be true. You know, so, and no one loves sisters more than we do. And how I know this, the statistics shows it, and every weekend at the club it shows it, and at restaurants. You know, over at least 94% of black men are married to black women. And that number continues to remain steady. So regardless of what people say, black men actually hate black women. That's not true. 94% of black men are married to black women. Look at the stats. And so whenever I hear that, I say, y'all lying. Everything we do, black men are dying because of these chicks. You know, getting themselves caught up in all types of economic or financial webs called child support, or getting hurt or killed by other black men because she told that dude that he did something. Oh, the foolishness continues. But anyway, even before then, we had a white man who used to do pretty much the same thing for white women. His name was Tom Likas. He said it all. Had the white women going in circles, pissed. 15 years on the radio. So, all right, so let me get to it. More specifically, y'all know, if y'all haven't heard, you know, if you're anywhere near social media, anywhere, you've heard the name Kevin Samuels. Kevin has been around since, what I understand, 2016, 17, but he started off as talking about men's lifestyles and stuff like that. Colognes and the right shoes to wear and the right looking clothes. He started off with that. And he would let men know, hey, bro, that's not how you do. This is not where you look. Are you serious? And no one had a problem with him at all. You never heard any complaints. None of them, as long as he was like, you know, directing men or talking to men, black men directly about things they could change about themselves. You never heard a complaint from men or women. But somehow a year ago, his format evolved into talking to women about their behaviors. And what he has done, what I understand to be so successfully, because it's having a major impact. Y'all pay close attention to what I'm about to tell y'all. He has single-handedly, almost single-handedly, been the biggest punch thrown to the programming and the hypnosis of feminism. Meaning, this independent woman delusion. He's really striking a mighty blow, and that is what's causing the unraveling of a lot of women out there who were taught by Gloria Steinem and these other white women feminists and these ugly feminist theorists out there who wrote books, patriarchy, oppressive, misogyny, sexism. You know, those women, when you see them like, bitch, ain't nobody having sex with you and no one wants to offer you a massage, ugly. So those are women that's writing all the books with the PhDs and the master's degrees talking about a patriarchy. those evil men, they're all sexual aggressors, and women are not safe around men. No, those chicks. And so they spent their time at the university level programming young, pretty women, young women who could have been wives and really lovers by men, training these women that think all they had to do was get a college degree or own a business and they would be viewed as valuable by men. And that has proven to be a mistake because you have 1 out of 4 sisters who won't be, they won't be married. And then so these feminists fool these chicks and say, well, there's not enough eligible black men. It's very interesting. There's plenty of black men for black men and women to marry. Plenty. Plenty. Hell, I see them all the time. They do too. But they've been told, well, he doesn't have 6-figure income, or if he's not 6 foot tall, or he's not this. But it's funny. Y'all go anywhere with a lot of Mexicans or Asians, they're married at over 60%. And when you see a Mexican dude with his woman, he about 5'4", 5'5", 5'3". She 5'1", 5'2", and they got 4 kids, and she pregnant with another. They're married. Asian guys hardly get past 5'6". They got wives and children. So, sisters, y'all let these white women make a fool out of you. So, what Kevin is doing is say, hey, sisters, look, every man wants these qualities in a woman. Femininity, sweet, cooperative, friendly. What's that? Friendly, cooperative, feminine. Feminists, black and white, have talked black women out of their divine femininity. And that's why they're losing. Not because men are intimidated by you. Not because men are he gay or down low and all that. That's not it. See, I keep telling religious people don't know shit about their own belief. I'm not religious. I don't read anybody's Quran or their Bible. I go by nature. See, in nature, there's a feminine and a masculine. When there's two masculine, there's usually a competition or there's war going on. Y'all are not listening. See, sisters have been masculinized. And so masculine men are like, no, let me go where the feminine energy is. And sometimes it's not within our race. So y'all get mad because he, with a white woman or Asian or Latina, she's smart enough to be into her femininity. They didn't let those white feminists talk them out of being a wife and a mother and all the stuff that comes with that out of God and nature. But sisters did. They wanted an economic piece of the pie, or a piece of the economic pie. And they got it. They got the political pie, piece of the pie, they got the economic piece of the pie, they got the educational piece of the pie, but they don't have their marriage and their family piece of the pie. Now their mental health has been compromised. But somehow it's black men's fault. No, black men, we've always behaved in nature as men. But sisters start behaving as women. And don't tell me about all the heartbreaks, because you picked all those heartbreaks, so you can save that shit. I don't care about that. Jermaine Armstrong. So, Kevin Samuels has done something that a lot of guys, when they have conversations with women, he's spoken honestly. And, you know who else spoke honestly to women and got a lot of women? The thugs. Or the players. Sometimes they spoke honestly to him like, nah, you ain't cute. And it goes straight to her head like, damn, but everybody told me I'm cute, but I ain't telling you cute. And all of a sudden, guess what? She hanging out with the cat. Like, whoa, that dude? So Kevin has penetrated that, and now they want him to be gone. They want him to be gone. They want Kevin Samuels to be canceled. It's not even a strong petition. But to put it out there, there's a lot of haters of people like this dude. A lot of people, any one of us who dare speak the truth to and about women. But in our situation, we're talking about black women, because even other women, they have their bitches and their attitude and their behavior, but a lot of them are still smart enough to like, well, I ain't gonna be a bitch to miss this lawyer, to miss this life. I'm not gonna be such a bitch that I'm not gonna let this dude go to work earn about $50,000 to $100,000 a year and let him take care of home and take care of me. That's what it is. They have tricked the black women out of their roles, out of the woman's role. And of course the feminists, what is a woman's role? That's not my debate. Y'all figure it out. Y'all the ones that's dying alone and dying with walking around with dogs and shit. Y'all the ones eating yourselves into my 600-pound life. Y'all the ones don't get a chance to, you get lucky in your late 30s or 40s to find somebody who will settle for you. Instead of when you was young and fine, you thought you was too good or you too busy trying to get your third master's like that. Nobody cared. Men, look, I'm gonna tell you an example. And don't keep Kevin Samuels on, right there. I know this to be true because I see it, and I'm one of those persons. When you see a fine ass female at the bus stop and she can have 1 or 2 kids, but she's pretty and she fine, guess what? You'll pull over in your CTS 2021 CTS Cadillac or your big body 750, 850 BMW, pull over and say, how you doing, little mama? Hey, what's up? Ladies, y'all getting you master's degree holding women? You sorority chicks? That stuff don't mean nothing to men. It's how fine you are and how sweet you are and how nice you are. But guess what? Women don't do that. They'll see a tall, handsome brother, but he's at the bus stop with his lunch in the sack. They'll ride past, they'll look at him like, he ain't got no car, and move on past, knowing that he's on the bus stop going or coming from work. See, what black women gonna have to do is go ahead and have that summit and say, you know what, we fucked up. Go on, but that ego and that pride, see, with masculinity comes ego and pride. And a lot of black women have been made into masculine men with wigs and weaves. Because when women get dressed, a lot of our women get dressed up, they don't get dressed up for men. They get dressed up for other women. Because the lesbianism has seeped into our community so deep that even you got your junior high school girl talking about, feeling on each other's booty and looking at each other's breasts and their booty with lust in their thoughts. Back in the day, women used to check out other women like, yeah, I can do better than her. Yeah, I can do better. And go out and like a little girl competition and see who can be prettier to men. But these bras today, they look at another woman's booty, how big it is, her breast, how supple it is, and even if she got camel toe. And they look at it like, damn, they look at it with lustful eyes. I mean, they beat us looking at women now. Let me know when I start lying, okay? So what Kevin Samuels has done is penetrated that feminist programming, and he says it without stuttering, the truth to their faces. Baby, how you think you fine? You 5'4" and you 200 pounds. Where they do that at? And you want a man that makes over $100,000? And see, the haters and the detractors don't tell the truth. They make up stuff. He's making women feel bad. No. They're deprogramming. They're deprogramming. Their program is malfunctioning. And so, the people who want black women to stay in a perpetual state of loneliness and anger and obesity and self-hatred, well, they want Kevin Samuels and people who sound like him off the internet. They wanted Tommy off the internet, got his page struck down, all that kind of stuff, but he's still kicking around here. They don't want any man to tell the truth about women's behaviors. And that is the problem. So, let me tell y'all something else. Y'all remember when I did a live and I said, isn't it interesting how none of these rap stations, none of these little black radio talk shows ever mentions Kevin Samuels? Or any of the brothers on YouTube, right? Who are speaking the truth. But I said Kevin Samuels because he's gone viral video after video. Right? And I think they were given a directive not to mention him, to give him any more, because the name of the game, y'all are not paying attention, is to keep black people confused and divided. And you do that through the women. Because that's who we are programmed to date. And that's not a bad thing, but they've poisoned the barrel of apples. And so they don't want Kevin Samuels to get bigger than the internet. But guess what, y'all? He's on everybody's lips. But they won't say it out loud. You go anywhere and mention Kevin Samuels, he's there. But our so-called black outlets, that even the mainstream white media won't mention this dude. But if he was doing some weird shit, some dumbass shit, or saying something about LGBT and all of that, oh yeah, they'll have him all over. He said this, he said that. But due to the fact that he is a black man telling the truth to women and starting out with particularly what I call the protected class, black women, they won't give him any more. So all of his stuff came from, so his popularity came from social media. Because if you get your video on World Star, it's on and popping from then and there. And every night when you watch his lives, he has the average of 24,000 people. Average. Last night it was up to like 26,000. Average. So their silence has not hurt his popularity, because he's obviously pushing a product that these women volunteer to call in to get this, because obviously something that psychiatrists, something that Tony Gaskins, something that T.D. Jakes, something that Minister Farrakhan, something that Omar Johnson, something that all these so-called black woman is God dudes are not saying, is not reaching these women to the core of their mental computer. It's something they're not saying. You can't continue to kiss a narcissist's ass and expect them to change their behavior. Come on, somebody. So all those people I named, y'all made y'all money off the women by kissing their ass. But this brother's making money off of women by telling them the truth. Where do you hear that at? Where they do that at? How often is that done? And then his truth is transforming them. Y'all hear what I'm saying? His truth is transforming them. His product is transforming them. But so in the process, they recruited these beta male simps. Well, he out here disrespecting his sister. And out here, man, he gay. He gay. That doesn't work anymore. We've evolved from that. You can't shame us out into silence. I mean, you can't shame, yeah. Can't shame men who tell the truth about women into silence. That shit doesn't work. You can't shame him, but he gay. Y'all right here, y'all Kevin Samuel followers. Y'all a bunch of followers. Look, that doesn't work either. Try to insult the people who have made up his 1.4 million person subscribers now. Up to 1.4 million subscribers. And it's still growing. So, y'all, come on now. Still growing. So what is it? If he was so terrible, why are these people subscribing? And why do these women continue to call night after night, and then log on to his Instagram on Tuesday and Thursday nights? And now on the Instagram, he averages 16,000 people. Averages 16,000 people every Tuesday and Thursday night. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays on the YouTube channel, 24,000 average in his chat, his live chat. So it's something about it, and they don't want him to grow. So let me tell you something. Remember what I said? That these rap stations, all these on-air, black on-air DJs and these hip-hop stations, they never mention him. Well, guess what I heard this morning? Now that there's a petition, this little weak-ass petition, to try to get him off or removed from YouTube and social media, for the very first time, I heard a hip-hop station, shout out to Dee in the morning on K104 here in Dallas. She actually mentioned him, and she played some of his stuff because it's something negative. I'm sure it wasn't her intent. She's probably giving it okay to report on him now. They mentioned Kevin Samuels, but only to say people are canceling him. But Kevin Samuels been around way before the cancellation. So how come these hip-hop stations never mentioned him before then? Y'all are not paying attention. Comer Brown calls him the go along, get along gang. And he says company policy. See, Steve Coakley told us about this stuff years ago. But Kwame Brown refers to it as the go along, get along gang and company policy. They signed a policy. I will not say this. I will not mention that. I will not blah, blah, blah. And that's right. Every job they have in there, well, you can't say this and have that. And especially if you try to become part of this system of entertainment, well, they have that on lock. And you have to be really specially chosen to be allowed to get on their airwaves and on their TV systems to say anything. You have to already be vetted and groomed. And once you break the programming, well, you're fired. Or you are demeaned and ridiculed and taken down. So now all of a sudden I hear on K104 here in Dallas. Now, they playing the clips, some of his clips and what he's saying. Just play clips. And all those clips they played, I heard them all. And I heard them all in their entirety. So, but people, it's interesting how mass media works. When you play just a little of something, they form a whole conclusion off of half a second of a clip. And that has always been dangerous. Always. That's how the media works. And they're trying to push a narrative. He is bad. But if you watch the entire show, everything is in perfect context. So, yeah, I said, well, I'll be damned. They finally mentioned him. But in a sense of, in a negative connotation. Y'all are not paying attention. Black men are not allowed to have a voice unless they're speaking out for groups that have nothing or don't benefit the black community. Are y'all hearing me? So for those of you who want them canceled, give it a rest. It's not gonna happen. And also, let me throw in some common sense. Even I said this when they were trying to take Tommy off there, Tommy Sotomayor off the air. You know, did y'all know the same stuff they say about TV and radio? If you don't like to hear a song on the radio, what they say? Turn the dial. You don't like the show that's on TV? Change the channel. But with YouTube, just like those others, you have to make an effort to find Kevin Samuels. You have to, number one, you have to log on to your laptop or desktop computer, right? Then you have to take your mouse or whatever you use and put it in the description box and type in Kevin Samuels. Then next you have to go through his videos and click on them. So where in the hell, anywhere in that process I just explained, is it you being forced to listen to or watch any of Kevin Samuels' material? Y'all see how retarded people are? How blatantly evil people are? If they don't like what they hear, they want it gone. This whole cancel culture, please. You know, I'm over it, been over it. I need people to stop falling for the foolishness. I need people to start thinking more with their third eye. You know, and it's interesting if people like him or Kwame or hell, even Minister Jap or Coach Greg Adams and Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, Dr. Tommy Curry, you know, all these folks, how come these men aren't on our national radio shows talking to black people? Dr. Claude Anderson, how come they're not? How come he was never on the radio? Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, how come she was never invited to the Essence Festival? All these black women. How come Sister Shahrazad Ali never invited to the Essence Festival? Hundreds and thousands of black women, but this black woman was never invited to talk to black women. Because all these people talk about the black family and how the black man is the leader and how valuable the black men are. Y'all catching on now? See, what I'm telling y'all is what the scholars have taught us over the past 100 years. But they're in books, so as they say, black folks don't like. If you want to keep something from black folks, put them in a book. So we're basically reciting what the scholars and those who've died poor and died probably mentally ill and depressed and angry and gave their lives up to try to tell us 100 years ago. Nat Turner and beyond, and even before then. Marcus Garvey, they tried to tell us, but we wouldn't listen because there were so many gatekeepers or go along, get along gang members there blocking the information. But now the information isn't blocked. You have to want to, you have to care. You have to be exposed. See, even though they're trying to take teaching the correct history out of public schools, that doesn't stop the information from flowing. That means, you know, your kids can be told a lie, but you at home, you say, what they teach you? You give them the book and tell them the truth. That's how you combat that. That's not, for me, that's not even a battle. What the hell you doing with your kids need public schools anyway? But that's a whole nother video. So yeah, y'all keep paying attention. And stop the hating and just listen and stop pocket watching or money counting or whatever it is they're doing. Stop doing that. It's interesting. You know, like, as I said, white men became millionaires insulting or making white women feel bad by telling them the truth to their face unapologetically. But black radio will not allow a black man to come on radio and tell the truth about single motherhood, tell the truth about black women's obesity, tell the truth about how ugly they look with that weave and all that damn makeup on. Yeah, people are having sex with you people, and that's all. You're too stupid to know that you're just a sexual object. Yeah, they'll stick a baby in you, but that don't mean they like you. How come we're not teaching this to our girls and these women? Well, I know somebody who like it. Hey, you know what? I don't debate that. I know a lot of men they'll stick their ding-ding in a wall socket. Hell. Look around, when you see some of these chicks, these dudes that got pregnant, they're like, damn, dude, you should have stuck your ding-ding in a wall socket. But this broad here is Leslie Jones. Shout out to Leslie Jones. You know, this shit is crazy. Y'all dudes impregnate anybody. Yes, Mary Mack said, I missed most of this, but did you mention the men who are hating on Kevin Samuels as well? Yeah, I mentioned the men. Yeah, they're in there with them. The hateful women and the beta males who love them, yeah, I mentioned them. They're pushing the petition, yeah. Because the women aren't doing it alone. You got to have the men out there. These old buster ass dudes. Remember I said that they're the ones who's leading the charge. The women are saying it. They're like neck and neck. He's gay. He obviously hates his mother. All of a sudden, everyone gets a PhD in psychology. He hates his mother. Yeah, he's angry. He hates women. I don't know who that one was that broke his heart. All that old foolishness. You know, that stuff doesn't work anymore. And so the guys are so busy. See, let me tell you something about black men. Too many in the last 50 years been raised mainly by women. So they think that they can't get to heaven unless the black woman blesses them. That's so stupid. And so, again, a lot of sweet women out there, they know I'm not talking about them. They know what I'm talking about. They know that they see, but a lot of sweet women are silent. They don't use their platforms to talk about these ratcheted broads that's ruining for the rest. But again, you know, Kevin Samuels will be fine. When I watch tonight, which is Thursday, tonight on Instagram, he's still going to have about 15,000 folks in there, and woman after woman calling in to seek his advice about this or that, whatever the topic is. He doesn't hold a gun or a knife to anybody and say, you better call in right now, goddammit. He doesn't do all that. And people send money because they want to. Hell. Y'all send y'all money to T.D. Jakes. Y'all send y'all money to all these other Negro preachers who are millionaires, and your condition ain't changed at all. But then as soon as y'all see some super chats going to some brothers who are actually waking up people, and actually people are taking their information and really using it and changing their lives, Kwame, Minister Jap. Yeah, and I say Minister Jap because he's a controversial figure, but he's good for the street dudes. Dudes in the hood. See, nobody's really reaching them. A lot of people are talking about the street dudes, but they're not using that, going out there and just really reaching them. Minister Jap reaches them with his delivery. He talks to the street dudes about the various stuff we talk to as it relates to relationship. Brothers, keep your ding-ding in your pants. Wear condoms. You know, to stop collecting these baby mamas because it's going to kick you in your ass the rest of your life. You know, he talks to them about behavior and getting a job and educating yourself. But he uses the language of the streets when he's talking to them. And so it may not be for those who are sensitive to the N-word. I'm sensitive to the N-word, but I still listen to what he's saying and how he's reaching these young men. And the callers that he calls in, young men in their 20s, late teens, early 20s, young black men calling in and say, yeah, man, I learned a lot, man. I had this bitch, man. Man, whole tried to pull that, you know, but, man, listen to you, man, you saved me a whole lot of strife, man, a whole lot of trouble, man, both these bras out here. But however language they use, they're being reached. These other folks, they got great presentations. They've mastered the King's English, and they can, and here, they can hoot and holler. And but it ain't changing no lives. Yeah, I said it. And I don't care you. And don't you dare say, well, that ain't my pastor. Yeah, your pastor ain't changed no lives either. God damn it, he ain't telling the truth. If you can't tell the truth to women, you can't tell no lies. Tell the truth. It's okay. You know, gym memberships haven't increased. When the Negro preachers tell they think it's all right for women to have babies out of wedlock, even though the Bible speaks against it. So now You know, they want to bring that back up. So, Kevin Samuels, bro, don't worry about that. We got you, man. And did y'all know, let's go back in the day, speaking of cancellation. People think cancel culture is new. Cancel culture is not new. You know, go back and read the life of Nat Turner. He was canceled for what he was doing, trying to say, you know what, this ain't right, trying to even the score, canceled. Marcus Garvey, canceled for trying to convince black folk we don't have to be here. We can go to Liberia and start over and and get our own freedom and all that. Canceled. And W.E.B. Du Bois helped cancel him. Helped the white government cancel Marcus Garvey. For all you W.E.B. Du Bois followers and admirers out there. Fred Douglass? No, he wasn't really canceled. Let's see who I can go to. Malcolm X, canceled. Trying to teach black people unity. Anytime you try to get black people together and unify blacks and whatever it is, economically, racially, man and woman wise, there's a cancellation coming. And so it's coming. So it's interesting. When you speak to the core of the things that is bothering, that's keeping black folks on the bottom, a cancellation is around the corner. Trust me. Now, if you keep it religious and keep the women laughing and smiling and keep them eating, oh yeah, he's so great and all this. Yeah, see, I work for Derrick Jackson. Anyway, that's all that lying to chicks all the time. But I ain't knocking the hustle. Steve Harvey's moved away. He sold his 2 million seller books. Got his talk shows and all that, but he don't say much about that. He moved on. Okay, he got his hands tied up with Marjorie and now Lori. He got too much going on to be worried about y'all now. So I just want to share that on the Kevin Samuels thing. He gonna be all right. Y'all stop the hating, celebrate, congratulate, and let's take notes on what he's teaching the women. Take notes. And you guys, these guys who are talking about him, it's only one word for you, man. You're jealous. You're jealous, man. And it's like that. He said, damn, he getting a lot of attention from women. And he ain't have to simp. He ain't have to bait a male. He ain't have to do any of that. Just telling the truth. See, a lot of these guys, black males, so many of them have been trained to be such pussy hounds, which, just value it like that to the point that they put their own integrity, their own intelligence at risk just to make sure they can procure a piece of ass tonight or this weekend. See, everyone knows that coochie comes by the pound these days, especially with the music is out. They tell them what they're doing, telling them what to do. So I don't know why so many black men are still on it like that. Like, dude, really? You can tell the truth. Well, if you can't get it with your conversation, reach in your pocket, boy, and hit it with the compensation. You hear me? So it's just Facebook posts after Facebook post, man. Y'all listen to this dude. Yeah, you can show all the pictures of him and all, and that shit don't matter, because it's the information. It's the information that's transforming people. I don't need no man to tell me this. Well, I don't need him. He hates himself. All of that. And they say that about it's not just Kevin they say that about. They say about any man that dares to speak his own mind and unapologetically. So any one of us can be subject to that. Now, let me get to this other piece right here. And correct me, Mary Max, I see you in here. Now, most recently, the title is The Continued Silence of American Women as Trans Replace Them is Deafening. Most recently, on the cover of Sports Illustrated, they put a trans woman there with Megan Thee Stallion and all these other folks, and even a fat white lady on there. I said, boy, that's something, isn't it? On the cover of Sports Illustrated. Trans. Go back a few years. Essence Magazine had Hollywood's beautiful black women, and they had Laverne Cox on there with Viola Davis and all these other actual black women. Sisters, I like, now that was a slap in the face. Y'all put a dude up there with a bunch of chicks, and none of those women had nothing to say about it. But had that been, no, anyway. So now a trans has won, what is it, Mary Max? Miss Nevada? It's a Miss Nevada. And will be competing in the Miss Universe pageant. And women still have nothing to say about this trans foolishness. Nothing. Because see, when men say something about it, oh my God, y'all transphobic. I've noticed that women like to call you these words. Okay, it was Miss Nevada. Thank you, Mary Max. And so they like to call you these words, but they don't like to be called those words. No, oh, you my God, you're transphobic, you're homophobic, you're fatphobic, and all this kind of shit. None of that stuff means a damn thing to me. None of it means anything to me. None of those words. Because I live in a reality. I live in the reality. The foolishness is what it is. And so I'm listening for women. I'm trying to read an article. Women, maybe it's been one somewhere as relates to these old lazy, sorry men. They couldn't compete as men, so they went over. They transformed themselves into females, and all the thing they did was put a wig on and put on some lip gloss. I identify as a woman. I knew they was going to hell in the handbasket when they had Bruce Jenner walk his ass at the ESPYs. I'm looking at this shit, I'm like, what? And all of a sudden, and I'm telling you, I damn near fell off, I damn near fell out of my chair when Bruce started speaking. Hello, I want to thank you all. But I'm like, what the French toast? Shout out to Kevin Samuels. What the French toast? Y'all send me a dude in a dress and a big red lipstick or burp, whatever it was, and an evening fitted evening gown, dressing the goddamn ESPYs. What's up, Abdul? What to do, bro? And so, Abdul, what's up? And so, man, I was just like, y'all guys, I said, okay, I'm so glad I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and I was reading a lot of cultural things in the 90s and got to meet some of those those African-centered scholars who taught us the truth. Because this foolishness is going on in the 2000s is some trash. And people are literally brainwashed. And so Mary Mack said they will not allow women to speak out too loudly against the BS. I didn't know you had to allow women to do anything these days, Mary Max. I thought they did it because women are empowered. Girl power. And you will not suppress our right. You will not police our bodies. I didn't know. So, I'm like, what is it? Why haven't women come out and done a movement to say, you know what? Biological women against fake. Why haven't they? Where are these feminist authors and people who write these blogs and these books? Where are these feminists, black and white? Because I'm telling y'all are literally standing around. It's just like at a job. You've been at the job 20 years. And you never made manager. You're in your 40s now. And they hire this young person, 25 years old. And they ask you to train him or her. And within 4 months, he's given the job as your manager. So women are sitting around and watching they're training trans to replace them. I'm telling y'all, I've said this shit for years when this mess started. I said, if I were an employer of a job, and it was about keeping the bottom line, well, the cheapest and more efficient person to hire other than a woman is a trans. Because trans don't have periods. Mark Lamont Hill, did you hear that, you stupid fucker? They don't have periods and they don't get pregnant, Mark Lamont Hill, you idiot. Shout out to Morehouse, that's y'all boy. That's y'all boy. So I didn't know they taught that at Morehouse. And that way he taught at Morehouse, but he graduated from Temple. Temple University, that's your boy. So they probably teach that kind of foolishness at Temple. All right, he taught at Morehouse, but he graduated from Temple. So Temple University, that's the kind of black dudes y'all producing, or a student that thinks men can get pregnant with a prostate and have a period. Oh God, man. But anyway, if I were an employer, I would rather hire a trans because they don't need maternity leave. They won't be walking around the office pregnant. And they don't need maternity leave. They don't need, I need a female. They don't need all that stress days off. Now, unless they got a drag show they want to go to that weekend, they'll just say, can I take some PTO or whatever. But other than that, it's cost effective to hire the trans. And women are standing around talking about, well, we want equal pay. Well, goddamn, you better talk about you want equal existence around here, because you're allowing them to make these headlines, make these headways. Okay. All right. But some people say, well, Rico, what about when blacks want to get in these spaces as white people? That has nothing to do with biology. That's race. There was people trying to hog stuff that other people's paying for as well. Yeah. They was keeping black folks out of stuff that black dollars was also paying for. What kind of sense does that make? Yeah. Sitting in the back of a bus that black tax dollars also paid for? Fuck you, stupid. Movie theaters that black tax dollars also paid for. So that was about. Now, if it was private-owned businesses, I understand. Why are you trying to get up in there anyway? And you pay with your own money. So for those out there who try to say, well, what about when they were discriminating against black? That has nothing to do with it. And you can't compare the two, so let it go. Keep it moving. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm going to keep posing the question. Women, why y'all so silent on this? Why aren't y'all holding movements? Y'all, you love to hold movements against men. Well, they're just dudes in wigs and lipstick, and all they got to do. I'm saying, and they don't even have on good hair either. They just throw on a mop. I'm a woman now, and you will address me as him, they, she, thee, he, thee, IRP. You will address me by a pronoun I is, they is, me is, no, I'm not, y'all keep falling for this shit. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me. This is my pronoun. He, she, DFK, I am, Erico 217, that's my pronoun. Like, y'all motherfuckers are stupid. I'm not finna give nobody no pronoun. I'm finna give you what your birth certificate said, Mr. or Ms. I'm finna give you what you got ovaries or a prostate, that's what I'm calling you. You ain't finna bully me into mental illness. I'm not doing that. And ladies, you're silenced. That's why I can't take women seriously. Now talk about everything. They're dudes. They're trying to impede upon your rights as women. They're impeding upon your rights as women. They're invading your space where women should be allowed to be expressive as women. You know, what are y'all doing? Y'all so full of it, ladies. Where the women's movement at? Where the marches, ladies? Y'all had a slut walk. So y'all need to have what's called a biological walk and let it be known. And y'all get into tussles with these trans dudes in the streets. Now I'd be impressed with what you're talking about. You're trying to actually fight for womanhood. We're fighting for womanhood. We want equal wages. We want the right to get into the military. We want women to be the police. Okay, there's another women's war right there that y'all are afraid to wage. So y'all full of it. I tell you, I'm an Aquarius. There's a lot of stuff I don't take seriously. And there's reason behind it. All you gotta do is look at it. Y'all sitting here and letting these dudes with wigs just take over. But then y'all were talking about, well, we're not married because, a lot of men are gay and they're into men secretly. Here goes some real trans right here. They in your face. So what you got to say about those dudes? Y'all don't never say, they're gay or down low or they're trans. You never say that. It's okay, ladies. I love you, but I'm going to tell you the truth. It's all weird to me. But I'm not going to hold y'all morning. I just want to say what's up, share my 2 thoughts. Please share this live. And also, don't forget, there's a short story that it's always for sale. It's only $10. $, Rico the Opinionist. And it's a story about when I accidentally found out about my actual biological father at age 22, and didn't get a chance to meet him till age 39 because he never wanted to meet me. I did that for myself. I just had to at least see what he looked like. And he asked me, how'd you find me? I said, Google MapQuest. And he said, hey, I have to give you an A for effort because I've worked aggressively over the years to prevent you from ever finding me. So yeah, hit me on that Cash App. It's on the Facebook page in the YouTube description box, the way you can get it. And please send me an email address because I only have it in PDF format right now. But I thank y'all so much for joining me as I do my cool down after I've run my few miles. Maybe a couple, maybe 2 or 3 miles. But anyway, thank y'all so much. We'll talk again in the future. Y'all be cool. Peace, y'all. This is Rico and his opinions. I'm out, and also my Facebook, my YouTube channel, Rico the Opinionist. Y'all be cool. Peace.